episode. If you didn't see the first part of this week's episode, as my associate is...
Let's start over. Hang on.
All right.
Welcome to Fade or Fly with Mike and the Feather, your weekly football podcast recorded right here in the heart of Sin City. Join Mike and the Feather as they dive into the world of sports bet predictions, game analysis, and serve up a healthy dose of Vegas-style humor. Whether you're looking to ride the winning streak or soar to new heights in your football knowledge, this is the podcast for you. Let's embark on this gridiron adventure together from the entertainment capital of the world.
Hey guys, welcome back into Fade or Fly. This is our teasers and parlays episode. We're going to look at the teasers and parlays the Feather picked from last week. If you didn't see the first part of this week's Tuesday show, the water cooler wrap-up, that is available on YouTube. We had a little bit of fun talking about this past weekend at the Westgate, as well as looking at the picks. We broke even this week, but we had some good dialogue about the games that the Feather picked and what we're looking forward to in the upcoming Week 5. Still kind of crazy. It's Week 5 already.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's Week 5. NFL season's going fast, and it's been exciting and fun. And coming down to the Westgate is a blast. And a little something of a note, when you're at the Westgate, if you come down and you visit us, you're going to get some of my bonus picks. I had, this week went 4-0 on Sunday for my teaser picks, parlays, and 0-1 obviously on Thursday night. We'll talk about that. But I also did an additional 2 teaser bets, a 5-teamer and a 2-teamer on the fly at the Westgate that I loved. And Mike and Kidwell and some of the other guys watching the game with me, Danny, they were able to jump on it and make some extra money. So let's come on down and visit us anytime, get to know us, and let's have some fun at Westgate.
Yeah, definitely feel free to come by and say hi if you see us sitting there mid-back row every Sunday morning. Usually this man's usually there by like 6 in the morning. So yes, as Jason said, we had 4 teaser picks from last week's episode of Fade or Fly. 4 for 4 on those this weekend. Actually, if you followed along, definitely made some money on those. Hopefully you guys chose to take us up on that suggestion. Want to put out there something too for people who might be new to teasers and parlays, because honestly, before I started working with him, I wasn't all that much into them. I had a situation happen this week where I got into one of the teasers a little bit later than I should have, and I actually had to have a push on one of the games. So if you didn't know this, when you do a teaser, if you have multiple picks, 3, 4, 5 picks on a teaser, and one of them ends up being a tie or a push, it drops it down to the next payout level of a 5-teamer becomes a 4-teamer. You don't actually lose anything. However, if you do a 2-teamer teaser parlay, if you push on any of those, it's considered a no bet, and your initial bet is refunded.
And that's assuming a win, though. The one part he's leaving out is that a push will leave the ticket, like if it's a 2-teamer. All the other ones have to be wins, of course, right? But if you have a 2-teamer, 1 wins, 1 pushes, it's a no bet. It's like it never happened, and they refund your ticket. And then it goes on from there. So if it's a 6-teamer and you win 5 of them, push 1, and it's a 6-teamer, it pays you as a 5-teamer would pay, and so on and so forth going down. So if it's a 4-teamer, you win 3, you push 1, then you would get a 3-teamer from a 4-teamer. So that's just kind of how it works. A lot of people don't know that because when it's straight parlays, the important part is if you have a 2-team straight bet parlay, not a teaser, and you push 1, win 1, you actually get paid out your win like a straight bet. So KOB, shout out to him. He actually had a pick that was like that, where he had a 2-team parlay, and he won 1, pushed 1, and it worked out good for him. He didn't win the 2-team parlay payout, but he did win a straight bet parlay. So he ended up profiting a good chunk on that one as well. So that's the difference between a straight parlay and a teaser parlay when you get down to increments of 2 teams or less. So.
Right, yeah, just want to make sure, because I'm like, of course, my fault for betting on the Eagles late. First off, I shouldn't have bet on the Eagles as a Giants fan, but on our Chargers, never the Chargers, on the Chief Eagles one, I got the Eagles half a point higher than what you suggested last week. Sure enough, they almost backdoor covered and screwed me, but I just squeaked away with a push on that one. Disappointing, because that would have been good. Even the Chiefs had to sneak by the Jets, But that would have been a nice payout had I gotten in on it the day we put the video out. But I was busy chained to my desk editing, strapped to the kitchen counter, working out hard, never being let out. But I say that in jest because this week, finally, I think the man and I have some plans to get out and about for some very special Vegas dining, Vegas events. Everything works out, Lord willing, we're going to get some new content out this week, and hopefully you're going to enjoy it because while the NFL season for us has about another 18 or so weeks to go, this channel is year-round, so we want to keep you occupied with the stuff we enjoy, get out of seeing the same walls week after week, and show you some of the sights and sounds and our take on them. So enough of that for now. Guys, if you enjoy the content, of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Very important, too, because this past weekend we had one of our other picks that last-minute emergency video went out an hour before kickoff when lines changed because of late scratches to certain games. When those things happen, we will try and put out at least a short to let you know, hey, if you haven't taken a pick yet, if you haven't seen this news, here it is. And definitely whether you should tread lightly on still continuing forward or, hey, it could be the opposite way. It could be beneficial. We want to make sure they know that this is even more profitable. So if you already bet it before, load that sucker up.
Yeah, absolutely. If I have any new information come Sunday morning, whatever time it is, I'm gonna try to jump on that, do a short on YouTube so you guys can get the information and assess from there what you need to do going forward. Everything's changing. We get these picks out to you Thursday nights by the time the video comes out. And like I said, stuff changes between Thursday and Sunday kickoff by far. It always does, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. So we can only give you the information we have at that current time based on the lines we have at that current time and the best information we have in regards to injuries and such. So there is going to be adjustments made on the fly. I'm always making adjustments personally myself with my picks and bets, and I weigh the decision whether to put in the bets, say right away Thursday night, or wait till Friday or Saturday, or even Sunday morning. So that's a delicate balance, and there's no guaranteed right or wrong way to do it. It's just kind of like going off a feel and the circumstance of each game in a case-by-case basis.
All right, well, that said, I'm going to turn it over to you. Every so often, you need a good tease, and you had 4 good teases this weekend. So walk us through what you picked and how we ended up on there.
Well, we're going to start off with the one stinker. Thursday night football. I know people have been waiting to hear about this one. It's been a humbling couple days since Thursday night when my Green Bay Packers decided to, and I went off saying how Vegas was stupid. They got it wrong, blah, blah, blah. I know I was 100%. It didn't work out. Green Bay was missing both tackles, and Jordan Love and that team in the first half was terrible. But I put out a 2-team teaser, and I did a short to you guys, and I loved the teaser. Green Bay teasing it from +2 to +8 and taking the over from 45 and teasing it down to 39 and taking the over. That one hit, but Green Bay lost by 14, and I can just envision right now what my friends were thinking and saying out loud and internally as they saw my short once again picking the Packers for the 4th straight week in a row.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And yeah, but it didn't work out. That was my one loss for my teaser this week.
I have to give you the red X's, the red lighting of doom for that pick. If you ever win, I promise you I'll make it green, but for now, you get the red.
So we took the L in that category, but that was the only loss of the week in the teasers. So now we're going to get to the good stuff. We're going to start off with the next teaser Sunday. 2-team, 6-point teaser. It was the Minnesota Vikings. They were 4-point favorites, and the Eagles, they were 8-point favorites. Did a 6-pointer, teased the Vikings down to +2 and the Eagles to -2. And both teams covered that, no problem. Eagles were a little bit closer for comfort. They won by 3, and it took overtime and a kick. But you know what? They got it done. Good old Skull Nation got off the schneid, and they're 1-3 now. So they're just a tad above better than the New York Giants probably at this point. Oh, hey now. But anyway, so Vikings, they got the W for us, and the Eagles, once again, fly, Eagles, fly. They made me money this week, and the love for the Eagles is strong sometimes in the betting world for me, but that's about it.
I think you forget who controls the microphone. So the next time I hear the words Jordan and Love come out of your mouth, I'm just going to start cutting you off if you're going to be.
Jordan Love, Daniel Jones could take a few lessons from Jordan Love, but we won't talk about that either. And he's far cheaper than $40 million a year. Just saying. Okay, no more beating up on Mike. He's beating up on himself.
Hey, sadly, I'm the worst Giants fan because speaking of parlays off the record, last night I took a 2-team teaser with I didn't even need to take the teaser with the Seahawks getting 3.5 and the under 52, which I knew the under 52 was a mortal lock. But when the Giants selling aside the play, it's usually at a time when you don't expect it. And I was kind of hoping, I guess, hey, either way, as a very good friend taught me, if you bet against your team, consider your consolation prize. You're hoping they win, but if not, at least you get some money out of it. Because as much as I hate to say it, you can be a fan your whole life, but when your team wins a Super Bowl or 3 since 1991, they don't send you a check for being a fan. So I got to make money with them the only way I can, and that's my best guess. Bet with your head, not with your heart.
Yep. Now on to the third 2-team teaser. We had the Rams. They were +1 at the time of this pick, and the Chargers were -5.5. We took the 6 points. We made the Rams +7, nice and juicy. And the Chargers, we made them +0.5 point, and we took that one down as a win again as well. The Rams, they were up big, and somehow those pesky Colts, they made a game of it.
Pesky first place Colts.
Pesky first place Colts. They made a game of it. They literally went to overtime, but in the end, the Rams prevailed, and that was one of 2 victories for us. Then we went on to the Chargers. The Chargers against the Raiders. Man, there was fights in the stadium, in the stands. I saw videos on TikTok, and no love lost between those teams and fans. But Chargers pulled it out, even though Mr. Justin Herbert had himself what looked to be a broken finger, and he's had a splint on his hand. It was his left hand, not his throwing hand, so that was good. But the Chargers got the W, and they won by 7, covering for us, and that's winner, chicken dinner. Boom. That's 2-team teasers, 1, and on to the next one. Third teaser, 2-teamer as well, 6 point. We had the Cowboys. They were 6.5 point favorites. And the Eagles, once again, baby, fly, Eagles, fly. They were 8-point favorites. We teased the Cowboys down to -0.5 point, -0.5 point, and the Eagles down to 2. And as you know, the Eagles covered, and the Cowboys rolled 38-3, just stomped Bill Belichick's dreams. And not much to say other than the Patriots have a lot of problems, and I don't see them solving them anytime soon.
How long until Tom gets the call, and does he answer?
No, I think Tom Brady's happy doing his little podcast and everything else he's doing. I think he's a sin back, loving his life, and he has zero interest to play football again, and I don't blame him. So, but that was a win, and so that breaks down that we were 3-1 on the week on 2-team teasers. Now we're moving on to the big one, 5-team 7-point teaser. That was a strategic move, mainly for the 49ers game, to be able to get that line at 7 instead of 8, and then you get,
Well, the original line was, and it never moved once. It was always -14. So basically, as opposed to getting it for just, like you said, 8 points, -8, you can get it for 7 points.
So what we had there was San Francisco. They were 14-point favorites. We knocked them down to 7. The Kansas City Chiefs, they were 9.5-point favorites at the time of the video we did. It did go down to actually got bet down to 7.5. But even at 9.5, 7-point teaser, 2.5. And then Dallas, 6.5-point favorites. They were teased up to +0.5. And then the Eagles once again, -8 down to -1. And then the final one was the Minnesota Vikings, -4, teased them to +3. And they all hit. Every one of them hit. I mean, San Francisco, it came down to a possible backdoor cover at the very end when Arizona had a ball in the end zone that would have spoiled the dreams and the spread. And it would have been fine for us from the 7 points. But from the standpoint of the 14 points, that dream would have been dead. But nope, they held it. And Christian McCaffrey, guy's a beast. I think 3 or 4 touchdowns for sure. And
I didn't read the whole article yet. I didn't actually read the article at all, but I did see that Kyle Shanahan had some feelings after about not letting McCaffrey go for the record with 5 touchdowns. But shout out to Christian McCaffrey, who basically single-handedly won me one of my fantasy football leagues this week. And also shout out to all our friends in the Best in the West football league who watch this, because right now, what team is sitting in first place with the most points? Would that be the Fader Fly team right here? Can I get a little Fader Fly right there? First place.
first place total points in the league, and first place in the league overall record-wise.
But no, let's be fair. We're tied for first, but we are winning by a chunk of points.
Yes,
So
we're tied for first, but we're in first based on tiebreakers.
Now that I've completely jinxed us, let's move on to the remainder.
Now
of,
we're going to tank bet against us this week. Vegas lines out. We're going to lose.
And if you didn't watch the previous video we talked about this weekend, we got our second bad beat episode of the week, and there's nothing worse than watching $80 to $90 million get lit on fire and handed over to Vegas Sportsbook. If you're not sure what we're talking about, make sure you check out the earlier video and see our bad beat of the week, episode number 2, because it wasn't a bad beat if you were Vegas.
Over under 1 million people that DM'd Patrick Mahomes asking for him to pay the bet they lost. And shout out, by the way, in regards to Christian McCaffrey, my guy Snoop, him and I have friendly banter all the time. I made a comment saying basically Bijan Robinson is the best running back in the NFL. And he quickly spanked me down and said, well, what about Mr. Christian McCaffrey? He might have something to say about that. But he actually also included a guy named Raheem Mostert, and in that category. And I'm like, no. He's having a good year statistically, but bottom line is he's not even a top 10 running back in the league. You know, if they were to do a redraft right now, the man wouldn't be in the top 10. So, but Christian McCaffrey is an absolute stud. I personally am in Camp Bijan Robinson. That guy is dynamic, and he's pretty much the only good thing Atlanta has going for them right now. So, but either way, the parlay, the teaser hit, 5-teamer. We put it in the bank. It was a great week, 4-1 on teasers, and there's going to be more to come. This segment's not going away. We're going to be having these picks, and it's going to keep being successful.
In fact, we talked about this off air, so to speak, and we decided that for the sake of being thorough and not drowning people in too much information, but also for those who want specific things, we are going to start splitting up the normal picks and show into its own video. And then we're going to put the teasers and parlays into their own as well. They might reference each other, but that way you don't have to fish through a very long video to find exactly what you want. In case you may not be interested in teasers or only want teasers, because I've actually been enjoying them. And definitely, do you have any advice or suggestions on when somebody does a teaser, appropriate bet amounts, or what to look at to make it worth it? Because we don't use units on teasers because you can't just do it that way the same.
No, because every teaser, you know, whether it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 team, 8 team, it pays differently. So what you're going to see at the end of this video, we're going to do a breakdown of the full year stats that include the straight bets to date through week 4 and all my teaser picks and the percentages and what won or lost are. And even broken down specifically into 2-team, 3-team, 4-team, 5-team, 8-team. And so you're going to see all of it at the tail end of this video. But as far as teasers and the appropriate money, I was playing poker at MGM the other day, and someone was asking me, like, my son loves parlays. So what should I tell him in a way as far as, like, what's an appropriate way to bet? And I say, okay, straight bets is where the money is. That's the smart play. You need to be making your straight bets. Teasers need to be secondary. There's benefit to teasers, but you need to, spend a very small percentage of your total daily bet on teasers and parlays, okay? 2-teamers are actually, really good. They don't pay as well, obviously. So if you want to, like, for example, do your goal is to make $100 profit on a 2-team teaser, 6-point teaser. You're going to lay $125 to win $100 profit. So you're laying that extra, 25% juice, the 125 to win 100 on a 2-teamer. Now, if you go to a 3-team teaser, now you're actually getting a little bit better than even money on a 6-point teaser, depending on where you make the bet. So, but once again, it's got to be a smaller percentage. So like if you're $100 per game, one unit is $100 bet for you. You may want to on a teaser that is, say, a 2-teamer. Maybe you want to do, somewhere between 25 to $100 teaser, right? I mean, that's for a 2-teamer, right? But as you go to 3-teamer, 4-teamer, 5-teamer, you want to make sure that the betting increment goes down, unless you really want to take a shot. But once again, you got to realize that the more teams within the teaser or a parlay, straight parlay, the mathematical percentage of you winning that bet goes down significantly because it's hard. The NFL's hard, sports betting's hard. So to hit just a straight bet game against the spread is tough, let alone, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 team in a straight parlay. Teasers give you a little bit of an edge, but it's called a teaser for a reason. Sometimes it seems too good to be true. And I try to sift through that and figure out, is it too good to be true or is it actually a good bet? And there's no true science to it. It's one of those things that there's certain ways to do things, but there's multiple ways to get there. And the main part is have fun and to basically know that, you just bet within your means if you're going to be making bets, or if you're just going to be making picks for fun, do that as well. But, just be responsible. That's the important part, and have fun with it. And hopefully in the end, you make a couple bucks and you walk away happy. So that's the goal. That's what we're here for, to try to, guide you and, help you with your enjoyment.
Yeah, and you mentioned it there too. We're going to put up on the screen in a moment here on the way out. We're going to have the summary of the Feathers picks statistics through the first 4 weeks, including week 1. Some of you may know that we started doing the units in week 2. That was intentional, but for the sake of fairness, we discussed how do we handle week 1. And Jason does not bet less than 2 units on any game. So since we just put out picks for week 1, each of those will be considered a 2-unit bet, and that's the way we're looking at it. So granted, it wasn't a good week, so we're going to take the losses on some of those. And like you said, I'm going to break down. I have to edit the video screen still. But we're going to break down the individual 2-teamer, 3-teamer, whatever the individual team we've done so far for the picks and the teasers and parlays, and show you where he's at when it comes to doing them in those amounts.
Yeah, week 1 was actually decent. We were 5-3, but week 2 and 3 were not great. And week 4, we were pretty much, like I said, par on the straight bets, but we crushed the teasers. So moving forward, we're just going to get better and better. Last year as well, I was 61% for the year documented, and the first couple weeks, I was under 500 for the first 2 weeks. And I got as high as, I think, 62 or almost 63% towards the later part of the year, and then bottomed out around 61%, which is, I'm well aware, is nothing short of really impressive, and it's hard to sustain. But my goal is to always get in the lab and work hard and win. I hate to lose, and I'm all about winning, and I'm all about getting that money for you guys. And makes me happy to see you guys happy. So I'm going to work hard for you, and we're going to get it done.
All right, guys, like I said, next week, later this week, the Thursday show will be split up into 2 episodes. We'll have the picks, and then we'll have the parlays and the teasers. So we hope you'll join us for one or both of those. Coming up on the screen on the way out here again will be the current results and the standings, and then we will keep this updated week by week. So we thank you for joining us for another episode of Fade or Fly. Like I said, he's letting me out of the studio this month to go out and get some more footage of other stuff. We hope you'll enjoy that too. Got quite a mix of stuff that we're going to try and do and show you more of Vegas and show you more hanging out outside of this lovely room of football helmets, which, by the way, link down below if you're interested in purchasing any helmets to where we get them on Amazon, as well as I should mention in this video too. We're looking to start showcasing our biggest fans, not our fans, but football fans out there. So if you are considering yourself a super fan, pardon my dog who's about to bark. Tiki, come here. Hold on a second. Come here. We're gonna do something here. Every year, thousands of fat doxies go hungry because people don't subscribe to NFL fantasy football picks. And won't you please help Tiki by giving us your subscription and your hard-earned thumbs up? And if I wouldn't get a copyright strike for doing it, I would play some sad Sarah McLachlan music right now. Look, her tongue hangs out of her mouth, for crying out loud. Like, she's lucky she's this cute. I love you. You're gonna be the thumbnail. Give me a kiss. Give Daddy a kiss. Thank you. All right, guys. Like I said, we want to make this show real. It's as real as it can get. She wants to get fed. Jason probably does too. And thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in just a couple of days.
As always, guys, we really appreciate you guys viewing our channel, and hope you enjoy the content. We're going to continue to put out great stuff, hopefully, and new stuff, each week. And it's going to be, everything sports, everything Vegas. We're loving it. We're enjoying it. We're having a blast. That's the main part. We want you to have fun along with us as much as we're doing, and it's much fun we're having. And that's all there is to say. We got remember to spade and neuter your pets, for
shout out to Bob Barker, may you rest in peace.
Yeah, and Tiki, you have a good day, and anyway, exciting stuff. We'll catch you guys next time. Until then, take the money to the bank. Boom.